Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Curiosity Cove Thursday edition. My name is Veda.
And I'm your trusty Captain speaking, and today we'll be talking about
Video games!
games.
Oh my
I'm
god.
so excited for today's episode.
I'm gonna nerd out so hardcore.
I am. I think
We're
I
gonna
was
geek
just
out.
telling Veda the other day, I was like, dude, this podcast episode is going to be so long. Because we're just going to have the cutest little PowerPoints, and we're just going to talk forever. It's going to be crazy. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
I'm also very excited. But before we get to that, how's your day?
Day's going good. I slept in, so that was interesting. Normally I would be like, yeah, work was okay, but it's Thursday edition, so I slept
True,
in,
yeah.
made myself a little brekkie. Did some quick yoga this morning, and
Oh.
then I was working on some podcast stuff, some art, and now we're here.
Excellent.
How about you?
I still work on Thursdays. So I went to work, woke up earlier than I wanted to, and then fell back asleep, woke up again, was almost late to work. Day was pretty normal, and then I went to go play with Abby, and her teeth have gotten quite sharp. That's all I'll say. So I can't play strong teeth with her anymore because her teeth are in fact strong now. So,
she does in fact hurt.
I do have a Band-Aid on. It was so funny though, because like we had a meeting and I sent Klaus a Snapchat of it because I always send him snaps of Abby.
Yeah.
And it was just like walking into the office, or like into the conference room in the office, like it was me, two of my bosses, one of the project managers, and Abby. And so I was taking I just in the middle of work, I'm just taking a Snapchat and I'm like, who's the most important person in the meeting? I love having her. It literally, it is such a morale boost to have like a dog in the office. I never thought about that before, but it is just such, like, it keeps me going throughout the day knowing that I can just go like take her on a walk and just like hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but other than that, I got home, hung out with some friendos, played some trash games of League of Legends, and
of course.
Skarner's broken. I don't want to talk about it, but he needs to go.
I think his new skins, like, revamped, look really cool though. I won't
lie. They did such a good job on his rework. They just made him way too strong.
Yeah, so that's fair.
Speaking of video games,
that's fair.
I hear though that you have a cap word for us.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. So I actually have no idea what this word means. Except that I only hear it in one particular like phrase, I guess. So the word is paradigm or paradigm. And it's spelled for people who don't know and why it's disgusting, is Paradigm. Paradigm. And so I looked up what it was because I was like, what the fuck even is this? And I have two definitions. So the one that Dr. Google says is a typical example or pattern of something, or like a model of something. And the like more breakdown for it for science and philosophy is a distinct set of concepts or thought patterns, including theories, research methods, postulates, and standards of what constitute legitimate contributions to a certain field.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so like I guess I get that. So the only way I know what it is and like how to use it properly is a paradigm time shift, which is basically, how I can explain it in like movie terms, is Alice from Twilight. So she is a paradigm time shift.
Right.
Which basically is an important change that happens when the usual way of thinking about or doing something is replaced by a new and different way. So Alice has the ability to see a paradigm time shift because she sees options, and it's kind of like the butterfly effect in a way.
Right.
And that's why I like it. I think I like the phrase paradigm time shift itself. Paradigm could get thrown out. The whole concept sounds cool. That word can go.
You've never heard like there's a new paradigm for XYZ? Or like
never
a paradigm of Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't think it's used a lot. Like, I
I
feel
don't
like
think
it's a
so
very
either.
sciencey word nowadays versus maybe when it was used more, or maybe it's used in another English speaking country more than it's used here.
I don't really normally hear it too often. I just know of it
Neither do
as a
I.
word that like is only used in like sciency esque things. So
Yeah.
like that's why it's kind of like ooh that word no.
Yeah, because I've like heard it used as like, oh, like this is, like a paradigm for, consciousness and like in philosophy and stuff. But
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
outside of that, I've never heard it
Yeah, like not
used.
on the daily.
Yeah, not as like a
Yeah.
standard word, I guess. I also hate that it's spelt paradigm. I
Paradigm,
think
yeah.
that's really dumb
I think it's gross.
because it's like it would be one thing if it was like IGHM, because then I know like from high that it has like an I noise, but for it to be paradigm and be pronounced paradigm or parad, I hate paradigm. I hate that.
Paradigm, yeah.
I
I don't like
really
it
don't like
either.
that at all.
Yeah.
Um,
That's fair.
um, but yeah, to have it be spelt that way, it does feel kind of stupid. I would say
Yeah.
that's I would
That's why it's an icky cap word.
I think that's valid. I think that's a
Mm.
valid cap word.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no,
Do we
you're
have a word
welcome.
with voodoo?
We do have a word with voodoo. So
Ooh.
today's word is prognosticate. Mm-hmm.
Prognosticate.
Spelt how you would think. Prognosticate.
Huh.
But it is essentially, it means to predict or to foreshadow. So it's like we prognosticate the worst case scenario would be like an example
Is
of
it
like
like
how
to
you use it.
foresee?
Yeah, so like to foreshadow or to predict or to like try to what's the word? I know prognosticate now, but not like a simple word. Um
I would have just said foreshadow or like to foresee
yeah,
like something
there's
happening.
yeah. There's a simple word that I can't think of
Prognosticate.
right now because brain go burr. Uh
Rainbow bird.
but yeah, essentially it's like if you're going to try to predict something that's going to happen, or if you're going to try to foreshadow an event.
Mm.
And I hear it a lot. The reason that I looked it up and thought about it was because I hear it a lot when people review things, like when I'm reading a movie review or like a gaming review, and they
Yeah.
say the plot seems to prognosticate a blah 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 blah.
Hmm.
And so I kind of knew from the context what it could mean, but
Yeah.
I never use it. Like
Mm-hmm.
and so I never looked into it. And so I said that could be a good one today because we're talking about games and gaming reviews say this and blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah. But
I
yeah,
like that the word paradigm kind of tied with that too.
yeah,
Unplanned, but we
yeah.
did. What the fuck?
Very
We're
kind of
just so
funny.
good at this podcast stuff.
Dude,
Sorry, guys.
we're operating on like one brain cell between the two of us. Just hive minding it all the way. Cool. So as far as we both have PowerPoints for you guys today.
Yeah, I'm
Very very
excited.
visual aiding.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to go first?
Sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. If you want to pop open, I'll just show our lovely
I
viewers our
got it for you.
Discord chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm excited.
gorgeous.
I'm really excited to talk about video games, and I got little timelines for you guys,
Dude,
and I've got
so excited.
pictures. It's not a whole lot of words. It's more pictures because I'm just gonna be talking through it all, and I didn't want to like fill up the PowerPoint with
That's
a bunch
exactly
of
how
gross.
mine is. Mine is all
Yeah,
pictures.
I really didn't. I thought that would be gross. So I got pictures. It'll
Oh
be like a
yeah.
comic book. So here we go. Basically, what all this jazz is gonna be about is number one, us reminiscing hard as fuck.
Yes.
And us just going down memory lane and seeing like what movies got movies on the brain. We were watching Deepwater Horizon earlier. Beautiful movie, by the way. And just video games that just made us who we are. And I have a lot of those and stuff. I actually asked my brother, I was like, hey, do you remember any video games from like back in the day that we used to play that like you could just tell me real quick so I can include them in today's podcast. It was like, yeah, like how far back are we talking? Are we talking like when we were like little babies and stuff? Or are we talking like throw it way back? And I was like, throw it way back. We got it. And so I'm really excited. So here
Hell
we go.
yeah.
I went through a little baby timeline just to give you guys a quick breakdown. I didn't do it in a particular order. I just found one that would give you a good representation of when stuff came out. So we got, and it might be a little bit blurry, so sorry about that, but at least you can see the consoles. So we got, in 1981, we got the first arcade games from Nintendo. I believe, is this Nintendo 64? I
The
think so.
no
Or is
the
that NES?
That's the oh my god. Yeah, that's the NES.
Okay. And then we got the Game Boy.
I
and
feel
the Game Boy
so
Advance.
old in this moment. You
What?
said, is that the 64? And I had a heart attack.
Sorry,
Oh,
it's so blurry even for me.
1985. I remember when the 64 came out.
That's okay. And so we got the GameCube in here, Game Boy Color, and then Game Boy Pocket Edition in there, Game Boy Advance, and then when the Wii came out, and then all the different versions of the DS, and then the 3DS even. And then I'm really sad it actually cut off at I don't even know the Wii U, because it didn't even talk about anything of the Xbox or the PlayStation, which I thought was really odd. But whatever. I found another one of those. So here we go. Cuz the big part of like my gaming story was Xbox, cuz that's where I initially started all that stuff. So we got all the old school stuff at the bottom. Mwah, chef's kiss. And then if we go over to the left, that's where we go up from like Sega games and then going up to Xbox. And then we got all the different PlayStations. And since the font is like super itty bitty, I broke them down on the left. So I actually had an old Atari as well. My dad had an Atari system that he kept, and I was like, Dad, do you even have one of these? And he was like, shut up, yes I do. And so we used to play like Pong and like the volleyball game, and I freaking I loved it. And then I'm blanking on the name. Adventure. We used to play Adventure all the time too.
Yeah.
And so Atari came out in 1977, and then the Game Boy Advance came out in 2001, also with GameCube. The DS came out in 2004, and then going down the line from Xbox 360 to Xbox One, it's 2001, 05, and 2013. And then the Wii came out in 2006, and then PlayStation up until PlayStation 5 was 1995, 2000, 2006, 2013, and 2020. And so that was a really big breakdown of all the consoles, just so we can get the dates of these next games that I'm about to break down.
It's so crazy for me to see it laid out like this, because I'm wrong. The one that I remember the release of is the GameCube, not the 64. I was too young for that.
The GameCube release is so good.
The GameCube, when it released, I was in first grade.
Cute.
So
Cute.
So now I feel old.
Fuck.
But
I feel that's what this is just gonna do, though.
I'm looking at these dates and seeing that the GameCube came out 23 years ago, and I remember getting one on launch makes me want to cry.
It's just so crazy. Like, holy fuck, imagine. Beautiful.
So
I just love these. So my first quote unquote console, if you want to also include like DS and Game Boy and stuff, mine was the first Game Boy Advance. Me and my brother got one for Christmas when we were really little, and I have the picture of when we first got it, and we were like underneath all the like present wrappings and stuff, and we were just holding our little Game Boys. And our first ever video game that was with it was, because we got like the Pokemon versions. I got Leaf Green and he got Fire Red, and we just sat there and we played it for hours. It was so freaking cute. I remember he picked Squirtle first, and I actually, despite my favorite Pokemon being Bulbasaur, I picked Charmander. And I remember my first ever starter Pokemon was a Charmander, and I named him Fireball, and I was just fucking tearing it up, bro. on the black and white screen. Just
I was also a Charmander starter Pokemon
I
person. I didn't play a lot of Pokemon, but kind of the same thing. I mean, I'm old, so mine was the Game Boy Color. But I remember getting the Game Boy Color and playing the Pokemon games, and it was like, I think oh god, how old would I have been? Like 6 maybe? 5, 6? And I was so excited to get one because having like a handheld gaming thing that you could take out, and then the only thing that sucked was that I lost like the cartridges all the time.
Oh,
like because I took mine to school and stuff, and like truth be told,
so did we.
A lot of them probably weren't lost; they were probably taken.
Oh, 1000%.
Yeah, but yeah, I would always take the Pokemon games, and then they had that. Some of you people might remember this, but they used to have the cables where you could connect your Game Boys to fight.
Hell yeah, that's how you trade them Pokemon, bro.
yeah. So
that's how you get those bitches to evolve.
Yeah, so we started taking ours to school so that we could do that. Because before that, all we could do was play card games like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and all that. But we didn't really understand too in depth how to play because we were so young.
We didn't either. How we played it was we laid out the cards like in front of us in a line, or we sometimes do 3 and 3, and we would sometimes just sit in front of each other, and then we'd pick one we wanted to fight, and then we would see who would win. We wouldn't do the flip of the coin or like a draw method or energies. Like, who the fuck had energy cards?
Literally. Or like trainer, like who had the potions and stuff? Nobody.
Yeah,
so
the
like
trainer cards.
A lot of the time, Pokemon cards were just like a thing that you could trade on the playground. And so like I remember somebody traded me. I had like a Pikachu, but it was shiny. It was like reverse holographic. Or holographic. And I traded it for a holographic Houndour, and Houndour was my favorite Pokemon. And that was way after consoles and stuff were out, but like because Houndour is not first gen, right? I actually don't know. I'm really bad at that stuff. So.
No, they're second gen.
Yeah. I was like with not Cyndaquil a Pokemon kid. But yeah, when consoles came out, we were playing handheld at school all the time. That was like when people remember like being in school when they started cracking down on like cell phones and stuff. I remember that being a thing for like Game Boys. Like we weren't allowed to bring our Game Boys out anymore.
Nah, if you heard that ring ding ding, you're like shit.
I gotta put it in my back. Wait, let me get to my cubby.
It was so fucked up. Oh my gosh. So how I laid out my PowerPoint is I went through each of the consoles that I had, and I have the games that I used to play on them. And so excellent. I did a quick little breakdown that way through the timeline kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
I got the cute little Game Boy Advance. I had the Namco Museum, the 50th anniversary, that had like Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Galaga, I forget the little race car game, but that game fucking sucked. I always lost that one. And so I freaking love that one. That's my leaf green right there. Sonic Battles were so much fun too. The old school Spyro, both of them. I had both because I would sometimes get stuck on Flame and then be like, fuck that, and go to Ice and just try to figure it out. The old school Donkey Kong and Ice Climbers. Beggars. And then Monkey Ball Jr. Monkey Ball would always make me triggered too, because like you would sit there and like use the thumb pad to turn it, but you would always find yourself tilting. Like tilting, yeah. When you try, you're like, no.
Have you ever been to an arcade where they have the roll ball monkey balls?
Yes.
It's so fun.
And someone bumps you and you freaking tumble off. Pissed.
Nah.
Pissed.
Nope.
Fucking so mad. But I think my favorite game on Game Boy that wasn't Pokemon, because I loved Pokemon so much, was actually Dig Dug. Really? I had Dig Dug. Yes, Dig Dug is probably my 100% favorite 1980s game.
Yeah, Dig Dug is a lot of fun. I'm a huge Pac-Man fan. Like I love Pac-Man.
Pac-Man's so much fun. I love playing the old school arcade games.
Me too.
They're just so good.
I want to go to the place that's out by us that is like a huge ass arcade, and you pay
I want
like
to go so bad
the
too.
one amount and you get in all day or whatever. I want to do that so
Yeah.
bad.
We should one day. We have to.
It would be a blast.
It would be so much fun. So these are some of my top games that I had for my Game Boy. And I adored it. How I went through, because I could remember some of them, but I was like, well, fuck, I think I have them around here somewhere. So while I was working on some stuff and hanging out with some friends, I have a time capsule bin at my house where since me and my brother used to have little cubbies of like all of our toys and stuff, we unfortunately had to give some away to our younger cousins, and like we actually sold some at like garage sales and stuff, but we kept our all-time favorites in our time capsule bin. And so I was like, damn, this bitch hasn't been cracked open in a couple years, but I need to see the Game Boy games and DS games and stuff like that. So I busted that bitch open and I almost started crying. I was looking at all the Game Boy games and the DS games, and I was like, oh, I miss playing this with my brother, and me and him sitting next to each other and like trading stuff, and like we had our names on the back and like how we wrote them and stuff. Oh, it was just such a trip. It was so cute.
Oh, that's
and
adorable.
so I found my old DS Lite too, and I have my DS XL in a different spot too, and I was like, oh,
dude.
Oh, it made me cry, man. It was so cute. And so here's some of my DS games. I ran it through all the fucking Pokemon games up until Black and White 2, folks. Like, don't come for me. I don't like the later Pokemons. They fucking suck. Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon and shit like that, XYZ, get out. I don't care if you love them to death. I will fight you on them. One of the Pokemon is literally a sword.
Yep.
And it looks horrible. It just can't. And the names for them go even worse.
Oh, dude.
I'll fight you to the ends of the earth. But I stopped on Black and White 2 because that's the last trashy Pokemon game I played. Okay? And so we got Cookie Mama. Represent to all my cooks out there. Fucking OGs. I have my old school Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen. Me and my boys used to play that shit. I would have me and my two buddies would always be Decepticons, and my other two buddies would always be Autobots. And that was the game you could play multiplayer, where you could come in and you could select any of the famous like Autobots and Decepticons. So I would always pick Megatron because I was fucking such a cheat. You could switch into the airplane and just zoom around. You would gun each other down. Race car battles. Oh, they're so good. I had to put out the Nintendogs as well because you know me, animal lover. I had the Dachshund one. It was my favorite.
I had
Fossil Fighters too. Yeah, the lab one.
Yeah, my childhood dog. His name was Jordan. He was a black lab.
Yeah.
So I got a black lab in the game, and I named him Jordan. And then when he passed away, I couldn't really stand to play it anymore. And
so shout out to all the Nintendogs who haven't been fed, bathed, or watered or walked in years. I'm so sorry.
I went through my stuff when Lexi and Bebo moved in. Yeah. I went through all of my stuff and I found my 3DS and I popped it open and Nintendogs was in there and I said, I gotta check on my dogs. Because I don't remember any of them. And then I logged in and it was Jordan and I just started bawling. I just started crying my eyes out.
That's so sad. Yeah. I haven't logged into mine. I don't think I want to. I'm just gonna leave it. I can't bring myself to do it. I just can't.
I don't blame you.
And then my first love for dinosaurs was Fossil Fighters. It's where you could run around as a tag team partner.
I remember
and you can dig up fossils and bring them to life and battle with them and level them up and evolve them.
That's like unlocking memories for me.
That's this whole thing is gonna be so fucking good. And then I actually forgot about these two games. We had Battle of Giants, Dinosaurs, and Dragons. And I actually don't right now remember like how the game is played, but I just remember you can unlock all these cool fucking dragons and dinos and like battle with them and just run through the basic storyline. And then of course I got Bakugan. Oh my god, I wish I had the Beyblade one, but it came out a little bit later than Bakugan, so it's dating itself a little bit.
Yeah.
But Bakugan. I still have all my favorite Bakugan too. That's in the time capsule. I've got all my Beyblades. That's in the time capsule.
This is
Forgot
also
them all.
crazy because, like, imagine Activision and Ubisoft making like handheld games today. Like, that's so wild to me
I
that
would kill
used to be
for it.
like, yeah, it would be sick. But just like seeing a Nintendo DS with not exclusive title, like just everything, it
Yeah.
like brings me back to a time because now it's like you play your Switch and you have pretty much it's all Nintendo. I mean, you can get Diablo, which is Activision or
Mm-hmm.
Blizzard. So I mean,
I honestly like I think the Switch is cool and all, like don't get me wrong, but honestly, I want to go back to the days where you would have a DS and a PSP. Like
yeah.
why I want that type of handheld.
Damn, I
I don't
forgot
want
about the
a big
PSP.
fucking I don't think the Switch is that big to be honest,
Mm,
but it's big enough that it's not a handheld thing.
yeah,
I guess if that makes sense.
yeah. It's
But I
just
want to go back to that type shit.
it's just wild looking back and seeing like I forgot, honestly I forgot about Ubisoft a little bit until seeing that just now. And
Yeah.
it's just like it's just one of those things of like I forget that Nintendo used to be like a console that had
Top
all of
dogs.
yeah, that had all of these different names on it, and it was like if you were going to play handheld, I mean, I still think if you're going to play handheld, the only option is Nintendo, right? Who
Yeah,
else make
100%.
who else makes handhelds that are
Handheld's better than
as
that.
that?
Exactly.
Yeah. But
Mm.
just like seeing the physical like boxes again, it's so
Mhm.
wild.
Yeah. It'd be so freaking cool. Oh, run it back, please. Oh my god, and don't even get me started on Wii, bro.
Oh my
I've got
god.
Wii Play, Wii Sports, Wii Resort, Wii Mario Kart, Playground, DDR, Super Mario Bros, Mario Galaxy, run it back with all the Lego games, and Super Smash Bros. Mm, I just can't. So my favorite games though, yes, was Super Smash Bros. Fun. Yes. Was DDR fun? Fuck yeah. And all those Lego ones? Fuck yeah. You can't even tell me how long that I've stood in the middle of the cantina in Star Wars and just
Literally.
had the buttheads playing their
Yeah.
music, man. Fucking love them to death. But my all-time favorite game that I think me and my brother would fuck around with the most was the tank game on Wii Play. Up in this top left one, it's the little tank guys where you would start off and you would have to use geometry to like hit your bullets a certain way and to get the tanks, and they would
Oh.
upgrade from like a blue tank to a brown tank to a green tank to the red ones, and the red ones would shoot rapid fire. Oh, and me and my brother would sometimes forget about the enemy in the first couple rounds and we'd just shoot really, really fast at each other. Whoever ran out of bullets first would win, and then you'd go and take on the enemy on your own.
Oh my god.
And then there was guess the differences in like the Mii's, you know?
Yeah.
And so they would be all your Mii's that you made and like they would be in there, and then it would be like something where they would be walking across the street and like they would be looking weird or they would be walking the wrong way and you had to select it first. And then there's the gunshot range, the cowboy racers, and oh, and then there's bowling, of course, you know, when you toss the ball backwards and they fucking jump and spin. The boxers, bro. The boxer would always be the hardest. And then when you're playing the sword quest part in the Wii Resort and you're just like smacking like crazy, just shaking the Wii remote, smacking them. Oh my god, it's so much fun. And then Wii Mario Kart, I had the fucking wheel, bro. And so we're zooming on the tracks. It was just so much fun. And then you'd have to like shake the controller upwards to just hit that jump just right and get that
Mhm.
speed boost. And then you'd have like the blue shells and the red shells just trying to screw over the other person you were playing with. It was so much fun. I had to put Mario Galaxy on here because, on God, it's such a great game. But me and my brother would get in so many fights over it because he would play Mario and I would play the little star guy. And so when we would be trying to work together, we'd just be yelling at each other at some point to be like, bro, he's on this side of the planet. Come on, fucker, move. Because, like, as the star, you can't move. You have to just follow Mario, and
Right.
then you would be the one, like, that could, quote unquote, shoot stuff. And because you're, like, partnered with Rosalie.
Mhm.
And so you just be running around. There's so many fun puzzles in this game. And I just remember that one being probably the most triggering out of all the games that we would play together. And it was just so much
Yeah.
fun. And then
I love that.
the Super Smash Bros was so much fun too. My favorite was playing the Pokemon trainer because I would just abuse the fuck out of Charizard.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And Bowser. Bowser was my
Yeah.
all-time fave too. Oh, these are just so much fun. And then I had the DDR dance pad where
Me
like you would plug
too.
it into the Wii, and then you'd be able to have the little dance pad below you instead of just using your sticks and stuff.
Remind me, I have a video to show you later about the DDR thing.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Oh, bet. I think I had some other games too, but these were like the top ones I would always remember. And then my favorite one of Wii Playground was there was a airplane game, like a paper airplane, and so you'd only get one style of paper airplane, which I thought was kind of lame. But you would toss it, and there would be wind currents, obstacles in your way, and you'd be racing each other, and you could barrel roll. So if you were flying right next to each other, you could barrel roll and hit the other dude's like wing, and you could spin them out and like just win the game that way. And then there used to be so much like little cheat codes, like backdoors you could do. Oh, it was just so much fun. And then there was the like dodgeball one was so much fun too. I just can't. I want to play the Wii again, man. Fuck.
We had a Wii, but we like barely played it.
Oh, we played the fuck out of the Wii. We
Yeah,
even
we
like
were...
played it so much that we had to like restore the battery in it and everything too.
See, that was us with the 360.
That was us too.
Yeah.
Running it back of the
red
360
rings
so
all
much
day.
fun. True.
I think how many 360s did you go through in your childhood? We went through 3.
Two
Yeah.
for sure.
We went through 3, and then our 4th one, I think we still have.
Yeah. Well, we went through 1 technically then, because the second one is the one I still have.
Yeah.
Because I called dibs to my brother. I said, "Motherfucker, the 360 is mine. You could keep the Xbox One. I never touched the Xbox One. I fucking hated that console.
Oh my
I never
God.
touched an Xbox One. Never touched none of that. None of the games either. I think I played Black Ops 3 maybe like a handful of times.
Yeah.
And that's about it. I'd always just the Xbox 360 is my all-time fave. Got started on a Modern Warfare 2 and then Modern Warfare 4. Those were my all-time beginners on the Xbox 360. I remember we didn't have it at first. So we'd always go over to my buddy's house and we'd always just yell at mom. We were like, "Hey mom, we're stepping out, we're going to our buddy's house." And she'd be like, "Okay, just like be safe." And he's like 5 minutes down the way, and we'd pull up and we'd just set it up in his little living room, and we'd just be sitting on little metal chairs because like we could use the couch, but the way that the sun was facing through the windows, you'd get a glare and you'd fuck up the game. Dude, sit on the chairs and get the best seats in the house and just hang out. We'd pop popcorn and get a bag of chips. So much fun.
Yeah.
And we would just run Black Ops 1 to the dirt. We would freaking run zombies for days. We'd play against bots and we'd do tomahawk challenges from across the map on Nuketown.
I fucking loved Nuketown so much.
Nuketown's my all-time favorite map of, oh my gosh.
It's such a classic, dude. I feel like if you played Call of Duty early on, I feel like there's not a single person that you would talk to that would be like, "Yeah, I fucking hated Nuketown." Like that was the shit. That map was the shit.
This era is probably my all-time fave. Anything after, so I played a little bit after Black Ops 2. Granted, I did say I played Black Ops 3 a little bit. That's true. I did give Black Ops Call of Duty Ghost, a try. I thought the guns were way too whack in that game. There's a few snipers that I did like, but other than that, Ghost was honestly kind of trash. And then there was what was the one? It was like Call of Duty where I'm really blanking on the name. But there was one right after that, and I think that was the last one I tried. It was with the zombies where you'd play on this map where you would get infected by the zombies, like a poison type thing, which was really fucking stupid. And I never liked that one, so I think that was the last time I played a further Call of Duty game, and I just always stuck with the Modern Warfare 2, 4, Black Ops 1 and 2, and that was about it.
Yeah, I feel like you can't go wrong with the first 2 blobs.
Exactly.
I feel like, yeah.
I can't. It's just so good. And then Lord of the Rings Conquest was a fun game. My buddy would always ask us to play because he loves Lord of the Rings. He knows all the movies, he knows like all the characters, and we would just play this to the dirt. You'd play as like a beginning character, like a basic
Mm-hmm.
warrior or a basic archer or something. And then if you got enough kills and fought really well against like your opponents, you would get upgrades. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you get an upgrade, you just go back to spawn and you could spawn as like Gandalf or Sauron or Legolas and them and like Gimli and stuff. And like you would be able to run in as one of the characters from the movies. So that was always so much fun. Madden 10 is probably my all-time favorite Madden. I don't know why. Don't even ask me why. That was just the game my buddy had, and we played that forever. And we didn't even play it right. We didn't even play to win. We played to get the stupid shots of like a character coming out of nowhere and blindsiding the dude who had the ball and tackling him out of bounds. It was so fucking dumb, but it was so much fun. Um, I have Halo 4 on there too. My buddy loved Halo, so we played through all the Halo games, and his favorite was Halo 4. So we always played that so much. And then Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi, we played Budokai 2 and 3. So I don't remember which one I liked more. I really liked the series for these. It was basically you got to play through the whole Dragon Ball like saga on video game. And
Mm-hmm.
so I absolutely loved it so much. And I'm just a huge Dragon Ball nerd. That's my first anime I ever watched. And me and my brother and like our homies from when we were younger absolutely adore Dragon Ball. We would have like stacks of like, oh well, if you pin this person against this person, like who would win, and like we went through all the stats of it, like whose character would do better. And it was just so much fun. And you could do like tournament battles where like you could do brackets and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
so I would always pick Vegeta because he's my favorite. And then my buddy would always pick Goku. And then my brother actually for some reason would always pick Gohan, which honestly Gohan was kind of beefy until he kind of fell in love with Videl, and like don't quote me
Mm-hmm.
on that, but Gohan fell off. He kind of did a little shit later, but when he was in his prime during like the Boo saga kind of era, a little bit after as well, he was in his prime. He did so
Mm-hmm.
good. But these are my favorite Xbox 360 games, and I'm such a Call of Duty girl at heart. I love it
Yeah.
so much. Like that was my uh I just love. I miss playing on console so much cuz like after 360, um I think I played back Black Ops 1 a little bit like here and there with like my brother as like a reminiscing kind of thing, but he took over the Xbox One afterwards, so then
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to touch that shit, so I became PC after that.
Yeah.
Um with the occasional like I would hop on if he booted up the 360 or like the Wii and stuff like that, but then I became PC after that.
Yeah.
But oh, the days of the 360, I would kill to go back to these days so much. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, dude, I
can't.
miss the I like I'll probably talk a bunch about it, but uh I like I just miss like the four-way split screen Halo
Mhm.
moments cuz like
Mhm.
that's part of the reason why Halo means so much to me.
Yeah, like no screen peeking, bro.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, yeah.
Um Oh, these are my PC games. I know Blues Tower Defense 5 didn't come out till later. So, and for some reason, I couldn't find Blues Tower Defense 3, like a picture. So, you're just gonna take it as that. But my favorite games from like back in the day was Street Fighter 2. I had Insane Aquarium. I had Backyard Baseball, where you could like pick your little teams and stuff. Plants vs. Zombies. And then a game called Ricochet. I don't know if anybody knows that one. That's probably dating myself a little bit. But Ricochet was just such a fun, like, chill kind of game you could do where you had this little, like, bumper car, I guess you could call it, that only moves side to side. And there's a bumper on the top where you just bounce the ball back and forth to break, um, like big setups of something. So like it could be designed like where there's a narrow end on one side and you'd have to break all the blocks eventually. And there's little like power-ups and stuff where if you would get it, they could drop like you could get more balls with it, or like you could shoot lasers, or the balls would shrink or get really big. And it would just be like how fast you could break down the like setup that was there. Super Street Fighter 2 was, I think, the first ever fighting game I played. I just remember the old graphics for it because, like, now watching the peeps in the Cove play, I think it's Street Fighter, what, 6 now? And just watching that and, like, the change of, like graphics and stuff is so cool to me. I just love playing the OG kind. I even forgot some of their names, which makes me kind of sad. But I was always played the little goblin guy that can like if you use his power up, he could like shock around him, and if the enemy like would kick it, they would get shocked backwards. And you can kind of get like a free hit or anything like that. Insane Aquarium was so much fun. You could like do these little quests and stuff to get little fishies, and like you check on every day to like help them grow. You can get different kinds of fishies, like there's the preggers one, there's the alien one. You can get little piranhas, and then of course like the basic fishies, and like you can name a bunch of stuff. I remember the last one I think I got was when my little cousin was born and I named it after him, and I think that's the last time I played that game, if I'm being honest. um, I haven't played backyard baseball in so long, but I always remember if you picked Wheeler or Pablo, you fucking won. Those two are the best people on the team. Don't freaking quote me on that. But if you just got Pablo for sure, that bitch is hitting that out of the park and he's zooming. There was Plants vs. Zombies. I know I got that on PC again recently. I used to play it when it was on like your phone, like in the App Store too. Oh, I should have done phone games too. I don't have any of those right now because that would have came later.
Hmm.
But Plants vs. Zombies was so much fun, and like doing it all the way up to the end and doing all the little mini games afterwards. That was so much fun.
I have such strong memories of the backyard games that are being unlocked right now.
The backyard baseball.
Yeah, like backyard baseball. There were a whole bunch of them, weren't there?
Yeah, I just loved backyard baseball the most. I loved it so much just because I thought it was so cool that you could have like stats and stuff on little characters and like pick your own teams and stuff. And if you got like one that you're like, oh, whatever, but you saw one that you're like, oh, I need to get him. He needs to be on my team. It was just so much fun. Oh my gosh. Oh, the PC games. This was like baby PC Cap. This is like way before all the stuff like now that I have gotten into and like love playing with like my friends and stuff. I honestly wish I could go back and get these back on my PC and stuff. I know I Plant vs Zombies, but mm, just reminiscing is just hitting so hard right now. Fuck. Oh, and I have some of these old throwbacks, bitch. Oh my gosh. So, some games that I used to play at like camp or stuff, because when my parents would keep working, they would put us in like a camp so like we could have time off to like they could do their job and like not have to babysit us the whole time. So they actually had a little computer at the place where we used to be taken care of and whatnot, and we used to play the old Rescue Heroes games. Where my favorite one where was you could save the like little animals and stuff. Where I believe it was Hurricane Havoc, because that's where like the buildings would be like destroyed and stuff, and there's like a storm going on, and so you would act like as one of the heroes. It would actually be the guy in the like fire hat right there, and
Hmm.
you'd run through the building and like you would check through the little area and like save the animals, and like if you had to put down the fire, you'd have like the little water gun with you. And then there was one where you could go swimming through the river, like through the landslide one, and you could like save the like water creatures and stuff, and like get the debris out of the way, so then you could make sure the water flow continued. And then, of course, I had to represent the old school arcade games that I absolutely love. We got Space Invaders, Pac-Man, Galaga. I know Dig Dug's out there. Love it so much. I love it so much. Galaga was also one of my all-time faves as well. And then, I
Yeah.
don't know, have you ever played Oddworld before?
No, it looks familiar to me, but I cannot say. PlayStation was like
Oh,
so
whoops.
long ago to me that
Uh-huh.
I like can't remember what I played on it aside from Frogger.
That's fair. We used to play Frogger too.
Yeah,
Fuck, I didn't even think
I
about
think I
that
was
game.
like 6 when I stopped playing PlayStation because we had all
Mm-hmm.
the handhelds and everything. So like
Mm-hmm.
we just never picked up PlayStation again. So I have no idea if I ever played Oddworld. It looks familiar to me, but then again, like I easily could have just seen it somewhere.
So I never played it on PlayStation actually. It was on PC for me. But what I remember of a fever dream of it where it took me a second to figure out what it was called actually. And the only way I could remember how fucked up this was, number one, being so young and playing this game with the backstory that it has was probably not a good idea. The backstory is, I don't know if you guys can see, his lips are stitched shut. And there was a huge backstory on that. And basically, Odd would be an alien that was um supposed to be like enslaved to be like a worker in this alien realm, and he didn't want to, of course. So he was like one of those rebels, but the aliens that would be running the place would be um like on the lookout for him, so you had to like duck and dodge all these places, and there would be like little cutscenes and stuff where the aliens would have caught like another rebel or something, and Odd was watching through the door, and like you would see how they like would handle them, and it would only be from like flashes, of course, because like they can't show like exactly what's going on, but like you would see them like get cut open and like have their lips stitched back together, and he would be on the run and stuff, and there was like these weird creatures the whole time. It was just so cool. It was such a cool game. Definitely should not have been allowed to play it, but
That's okay. It
it was
happens.
still so much fun.
Also,
And then,
I
oh
have to
my
admit,
gosh, I
there's
can't.
not a single part of me that remembers Fisher Price making video games. But
Yeah, they did. They did for Rescue Heroes and like
yeah,
the like little tyke stuff.
I see, I see, I see.
Yeah. So that was really cool. And then of course I have some more arcade games. I have the DDR ones because I just, like whenever you go to an arcade, the brightest game there was the fucking DDR machine. So I had to put it there. And then one of my all-time favorites is Jambo Safari. I don't know if you've ever played it before.
Mm-mm.
Um but it's like a little safari game where you boot in and you get to pick um which part of the world you want it to go to, and you'd get different trophies and stuff for finding these animals and like capturing them. It wasn't a hunter's game. It was literally you got to be put on a little safari truck and like drive around wherever you picked, and you would select one of the animals of varying like star trophies, and then you'd have this little stick shift on your right to like throw out a lasso, and you would like catch them in a way, and it would take you forever, especially if you're going after like a cheetah or like one of the lions, because they would just run forever and you need to like tire them out to like catch them. And it was just so amazing. I just, as an
Mm-hmm.
animal lover, I was just so gravitated to this shit, so I was like, fuck.
Yeah,
All my coins would just go straight into this, and like any of the racing games, to be honest.
yeah.
And then me and my brother were avid lovers of the ball drop game. I don't
I
know
I also
if
loved the ball
I
drop game.
fucking adore ball drop so much. Me and my brother, once we found out that the newer ball, like stuff that doesn't look like this one that I have on the screen, the newer ball drop games are rigged.
Oh, for sure.
You cannot tell me otherwise, because granted,
All
have
of
we
them
hit a few
are.
jackpots? Yeah. Yeah, but if you played this one, like the one on the screen, there was a specific time where you could just know when to drop it and you would get jackpots upon jackpots.
Yeah, but that was back before they started they intentionally make the games now to have
Oh yeah.
like a set point to jackpot.
Yeah, which is fucking stupid.
It is
but
stupid,
whatever.
but that's how they get their
Because
money.
I know.
Fuckers.
But like I miss being able to like just nail the jackpots over and over and have people come over and be like, "Oh my gosh, no way." And like you would get like the 900 jackpot or something, or you're just standing there waiting for your turn and you keep seeing them miss and you're like, keep missing because I want to get the next one. I just miss old arcades so much and like
Yeah.
getting the like lights to go crazy
Yeah,
because you
yeah,
won
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I miss it so much. And I don't know if you remember the old GameCube stuff that was at like McDonald's and stuff.
I
Do you
do.
remember
I
that they used to
looking
have
at this,
them?
I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah. So my all-time favorite at the McDonald's would I think I can't remember correctly if Burger King had them too. I know McDonald's did 100% because they're at the little play places. They would be in one of the more like not directly in where like the building part was, where it would be just off to the side where like people were eating. It would be like a little console off to the side. And my all-time fave was actually the one on the screen. It's Super Mario Sunshine, and it would be Mario running around with like a water pack in a way that you would have to like run over to like the ocean or like water source you'd be by and you'd refill it and then you just run around and like it would change to ice sometimes. You could like flood certain areas to get towards it, suck up the water to get to the next part. It would be so much fun, and I just remember it would always be on the same level or like roughly around there whenever I would get back to it. And I thought that was so weird because I felt like I was playing the same thing over and over. And you know, as a kid, like you're not really gonna advance the game. Like you're just playing it to like play the GameCube controller in your hand just to look cool and stuff.
Right.
And so I absolutely adore it. I kind of miss it. I didn't remember it when I was making this. And then I was like, wait, I remember McDonald's having these consoles there or like little setups and stuff. So I looked it up and sure enough, like that's where I found this. But I was like, okay, so it wasn't a fever dream. Got it, got you.
That's how I feel about I was talking about this earlier with my mom because I was like, oh, this is what we're doing on the podcast today. Da, da, da. And she's like, yeah, do you remember the place I used to take you where you would play video games while they cut your guys' hair? And I was like, yes.
What?
I do. Yeah. When we were kids, we went to this place. I could tell you where it was, but it's obviously not there anymore. That's not a thing anymore. But they had GameCubes and PlayStation, like PlayStation 2, GameCube, and I think like a Nintendo 64. And you could play one of those, like depending on where you sat, there would be one in front of you, and you could play video games while they were cutting your hair.
That's so fucking
Yeah,
sick.
it was dope.
Oh, I wish.
We went like
Times have
once.
changed.
They screwed up our hair and we never went back, but
Aw. Well, at least we got some video games out of it.
it was pretty fun.
And then I have stuff I currently play, which is, I feel like looking at the comparison between all of the games
For
I've showed
real.
before versus this,
Yeah.
these kind of seem lame.
Trust me, I
Am I
have the
wrong?
same I have the same sentiment. Like when we get to mine, you'll see my collage of stuff I played today, and I have nothing as good to say about them as anything prior to those slides.
I don't. Like, I'm gonna sit here and be like, I'm a fucking addict to League. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Lethal Company owns my fucking soul right now. Sea of Thieves, hashtag pirate, that's it. Dino
Literally.
Game represent, just upgraded it from the
Literally.
DS version. Suika is my little comfort game that I just need to hang out with. Counter-Strike is now one-upping Valorant because Valorant can go suck a fat dick, honestly.
Yeah, true.
And Stardew Valley, I really want to get with the new update. I really want to get the 8-man going, so that's going to be happening soon.
I'm so excited.
But in comparison with all of these, compared to all the ones I showed before, this looks lame.
Yeah.
I
understand the feeling.
I have nothing.
I understand the feeling completely.
Like, that's crazy to me. I didn't
Yeah.
even think, like, because I just made this a little bit ago just to make sure that, like, I had some of that stuff. But looking back, Wow.
Oh, Jose asked if we can get a pirate impression for Sea of Thieves.
Oh, I don't really have one.
You don't have one?
Unfortunately, no, I
Yar
can't do
har.
it unless I'm reading something. So like
Wait,
whenever I did my impersonations when I'm playing Sea of
you have to
Thieves,
like actually.
you
Mm-hmm.
know like the little beginning montage thing
Yeah.
where it like puts the map out and
Yeah,
has
yeah,
the
yeah.
writings. I can't do it unless I'm reading it.
Really? Oh, that's
Yes.
so interesting. Okay, rain check, rain check.
Yeah, I can't unfortunately. It's fucking crazy. Or like when Buddy would be in chat and like type out his little spiel he does when he
Yeah.
joins chat, I can only do it then.
My
I can't
God.
do it off the cuff. I have
That's
to
so
read
quirky.
something. And I'm just so quirky,
You're
you
just so
know.
quirky.
Yeah. I can't. But yeah,
Excellent.
I just want to. Oh, now I want them to bring back the old games.
I know.
Now I'm like sappy as fuck. Damn. I just love video games so much, man. I really do.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of mine. That was my reminiscent of all the games I used to play, a little snippet into some Captain lore, if you will, and just why I came to be who I am and how much I love video games and how many friends I've made along the way and just enjoying life with my homies, you know?
Oh, sap.
The one thing I can say though is my friend group from when we were really little. So I'm 2 years older than my brother, and my brother had like all of these friends we would always hang out with. We always called ourselves. You're gonna think this is so fucking dumb, but I absolutely adore it. So it was me, my brother, and his three friends, which also were my friends. We would always call ourselves the Fantastic Five.
Oh.
So we're all roughly the same age and we would always go everywhere together. We'd have our birthdays together, we'd go on vacations together, we went to school roughly within the years to give together. And it just makes me really sad to think about like all the times we used to play video games together and like go over to each other's houses and like do sleepovers and stuff to like now where I don't even talk to one of them anymore because he obviously grew up and like he's got his own thing going on. The last time I saw him was when my brother graduated high school,
Mm.
and that was a hot minute ago.
Yeah.
So I haven't talked to him in a while. I actually talked to the other two still, just on and off here, but I haven't played video games with my Fantastic Five since like the late 2000s.
Yeah.
So that's like over 10 years ago, and it just makes me sad just to think about. But I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah. Like at least
I
you have
would
those
rather have the memories
memories.
than to
Mhm.
never have them before.
Yeah, completely understandable, I think.
Yeah. I just miss them. Those are like
Mhm.
my little bros. They may not been born my brothers, but those are my
Mhm.
Fantastic Five. I freaking love them. I
Yeah.
love them to pieces.
I have that same feeling. Like the one of the earliest memories I have of like getting really into gaming was me and my brother were best friends with a couple of the guys in the neighborhood. So kind of the same
Mhm.
deal because my little brother and I were into gaming together, and then our neighbor was like our best friend. And
Mhm.
so a lot of the time we would be like up in his room blasting Linkin Park playing like Xbox.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it was very much like that.
I also love the days of like trading Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And like we would also do Bakugan battles
Mhm.
and we would do Beyblades out in my little street where I live. Oh, I miss it so
Mhm.
much. I just miss like um I guess the term would be the sense of community that like video games
Yeah.
brought me, cuz like it's very different to now, I would say. I
Mhm.
just feel like when you go to like being a PC gamer and having all of your online friends that way, it's a little bit different than when you were little and like you would have friends around like your neighborhood and stuff because like y'all went to school together
Right.
and that you'd be like, "Hey, did you want to like come over and like play Pokemon together like on our DS or did you want to trade Pokemon cards? Like I've got this one at home." Or do you want to have like a Beyblade battle like after school? Like I just got
Mhm.
Scorpio the other day. Like he looks
Right.
so sick. Like something like that.
Mhm.
And just I guess the real life community aspect is somehow missing now, and it kind of like I miss it.
Yeah, I think it's understandable. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot different now when we can play online versus you used to have to bring over a computer and do like a LAN party, you know?
Yeah.
And so like that, I mean, those are always fun for like me and my friends, but there's just no need to do that anymore.
Yeah. I also find it, I think, more fun nowadays because you can meet so many different people from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, did you have the ability to meet new people around your own neighborhood or kids you wouldn't normally talk to at school? Yeah,
Oh yeah.
sure. But now I get to talk to people from all over the world.
I know, it's so
I get
fun.
to hang out with anybody. I could like go ahead and meet them and play different games together, see how they would play it. Get to learn about their kind of side of life. Of course, like if they're willing to like share that kind of side of them and like get to know them better and like get to make best friends that like you never would have met or never would have connected with. And it always just makes me laugh when we're playing games that have proximity chat or like if we're playing a game where like you can play with a whole bunch of different people that would have like a shitty mic and it would remind you of like the old school Xbox games where like the background music's playing a little too loud or like you heard their parents in the background and the mic was muffled as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, it just is amazing.
Yeah.
It's just like a different kind of love nowadays.
It's like you miss how it used to be, but like you wouldn't change how it is now either.
Yeah. Never for the change of the world. Never. I love it too much. It's so cute.
I think completely understandable. I feel the same.
Yeah.
Okay. My turn.
I can't wait.
Okay. Let me get this on up here and I will stream it for you so that you can get it real time. Lifetime. Okay, so mine is set up kind of just like
yours looks cooler.
It's literally a stock image. So
mine was presentation form.
So mine is set up basically honestly just how I kind of like evolved through gaming. So I kind of went through because I went from console to PC back to console back to PC. So it's a little haywire because I spent a lot of time like not touching a PC and just playing on my PlayStation, and then I went back to PC and like now I don't touch console ever. So that's kind of how it's set up, but starting off right away. So early childhood, I had classics because we had like the first PlayStation, the first Xbox, the DS, Game Boy Advance, like all of that stuff too. But I just had like I have specific memories of games. So like Super Smash Brothers was something that we played with my neighbor all the time. Did all the Donkey Kong games, did the Zelda games. There was a car game on the 64 that I can't remember the name of, but I remember a game mode on it, which is where you would have a bomb fuse on your car and you had to hit another car to give them the bomb fuse.
Oh my god, you're fucking giving me flashbacks.
Yeah,
I can't remember
like,
what it's called.
I don't remember it at all, but I remember that game mode being the most fun thing in the world. So
oh my god,
we had that
insane.
Jack and Dexter, Spyro, and then on the GameCube there was a game. I was obsessed with Mary Kate and Ashley when I was a kid, and they had their Super Sweet 16 game.
Hell yeah, they did.
Oh, the mini games in that were the shit. So like these are like when I this slide is specifically me just writing down like what I remember as like the first games that I played. And so they're in there in no particular order, but like I specifically remember these games from before like the PlayStation 2 and Xbox 360 came out.
Of course.
I did the Pokemon games and the Ten Dogs and all that stuff too, but I wouldn't say nearly as much as I did like controller console gaming. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, I just remember like I have specific memories of Super Smash Brothers because we had it at home, but then also my cousin had it at their place. And so when we would go over for like family dinners and stuff for like holidays and everything, we would all crowd around the TV to play Super Smash Brothers.
That's
like
what
all
we
as
did
kids.
Too.
Yeah. Or we would play Pokemon Snap. That was the shit. I loved playing Pokemon Snap for family get-togethers.
we had Pokemon Revolution on ours, where it was like anything from Gen 1 to Gen. Oh, maybe it was just Gen 1. No, Gen 2 as well. And you would play like tournament style and you'd
Oh
get
yeah, we had
picked
that
random
too.
Pokemon.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
And it was like just those first two, and you'd get random Pokemon and you wouldn't get to pick, and then you'd get thrown in with a random trainer. And I just remember the announcer was just such a cool voice that I would just sometimes just get lost.
Oh, it was up to Gen 4.
It was up to Gen 4?
Jesus,
Damn.
that's how
It
fucking
was in the
fast
lower
those
gens for sure.
generations. That I don't even know how many generations there currently are, if we're being
There's
honest.
8.
No.
I think there's 8.
What?
Yeah.
Oh geez. I don't even know like when honestly, the idea of like the creators of Pokemon, Nintendo or whatever, it was like the idea of like we're gonna release like a new 100 Pokemon right now
Yeah.
is like mind-boggling to me. But I was not a Pokemon kid, so I don't really understand it. Like Digimon was very straightforward. They introduced Digimon like
I
2
love
or 3 at
Digimon.
a time, and it was like very chill and easy. And then the complicated part comes into them having 26 different Digivolutions, you know?
Yeah.
Like but I was very much more a Digimon kid, so I never really understand Pokemon from like that aspect,
Fair.
like the nostalgic aspect, except for the cards, which is really just the first gen.
Yeah, I think I looked up like what the different generations for the Pokemon were. I'm pretty sure I stopped after Gen 5. Gen 5 was black and white.
Yeah.
Gen 4 is like the OG like black and white. My bad. Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
Yeah.
And that's just probably one of my faves too.
I see. I remember Pokemon Red and Blue, or Red and Yellow. Wait, I don't remember them. Never mind.
Just the like earlier ones.
I remember
Gen 1
Red.
only,
I
which
remember
is-
having Red or Ruby or something like that.
There's Ruby and Sapphire.
Maybe it was Ruby and Sapphire.
Emerald.
I can't. If anybody knows which ones came out on the Game Boy Color when it came out, that's the one that I had. Those were the only ones that I played, but I played them obsessively.
I love that though.
Yeah, and truth be told, they might not have even been like first gen. Oh, yeah, wait. Gen 1, red, blue, yellow. Gen 2, gold, silver, crystal. Gen 3, ruby, sapphire, emerald. Bebo's like a Pokemon expert, so.
He is. I knew he was going to be on it. I was just waiting for it.
Gen 4, diamond, pearl, platinum.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Well, I can't. No, it's a whole nother conversation. I was gonna say I can't even remember. I can't even remember who was on Ruby, but but yes, that was like this was all my childhood. Like I remember playing the shit out of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Like those were near and dear to my heart. My dad had an NES, but it didn't work super well, so we only played it every once in a while, and we played like OG Zelda and like a couple other games that I can't really remember. Sometimes I even feel like Zelda wasn't on the NES, but he says it was, so I am just taking his word for it.
Fair.
Well, he used, because he'll always talk about, he'll be like, oh, well, you know, I used to like tell you guys when you were younger, like I showed you guys Zelda on the NES, and I'm like, did you? I don't feel like I remember that, but he did. He swears it, so it happened, I guess.
Yeah, my memory kind of gets a little foggy in certain areas.
Yeah, and that was like my very early. Now I will say, when I was a kid and I would go to my grandparents played RuneScape, and they also had this game called DX Ball, which I can show you this sometime, but I have like an Instagram of me being like way too cracked at DX Ball that I can show you, because I played it obsessively as a kid. And it was that little game where the slider is at the bottom and you bounce the ball to hit the bricks. And I was way too cracked at it. That's
what Ricochet is as well.
Yeah, I loved that game so much. It was like the only thing that I would do when I was there. And like they would be like, "Can you get off the PC? I need to log into RuneScape." And I was like, "No, absolutely. I need to beat DX Ball right now. You need to go away."
Yeah.
I also was a huge fan of Minesweeper.
I only recently learned how to do Minesweeper.
I love
I
Minesweeper.
actually never knew how to play it before.
I love Minesweeper so much. Okay, so console gaming, as in Xbox, PS2, 360, all that jazz, GameCube, everything like that. Me and my brother got into gaming together. We were pretty much Tony Hawk Pro Skater like
Oh fuck
mains until Halo came out, and then it was like all Halo all the time.
I
And
Halo.
Halo was the first game that I was ever like thoroughly attached to. Like I played that shit nonstop. I remember as the games went on, like community maps becoming a thing. I remember like doing the special things to like get super jumps or get the golden warthog or like all the like map glitches,
like
the Easter
special
eggs.
vehicles.
Yes, yeah. I remember doing all that. Like I was super good at driving like all of the vehicles when I was younger. We did four-way split screen Halo, me, my brother, and our two cousins, and like we always had the jokes about like you're screen peeking and like yeah, and it was just Halo is such like a core memory for me, just playing it and like consuming it. And I mean, like me and my brother in 2004 we got super into Red versus Blue, which was Rooster Teeth's Mashima of Halo.
Yeah.
And from there, I feel like we were just kind of like put on this path to be gamers because we got super into their content. And I mean, like, I think I was like 9 or 10. Okay. And so like I barely understood anything they were talking about because they were like full ass adults. But we got onto their website. We were listening to their podcast, which was called The Drunk Tank. Like, we got so into them, and then they created Achievement Hunter, and they started doing Let's Plays, and like the games that they would play, I would want to play, and like they introduced me to a lot of stuff when I was like younger. Or other people who watched Rooster Teeth that would talk to me and my brother, like they would give us games to play. But it would always circle back to we would either play Medal of Honor, which is that response to Call of Duty that everyone forgets about. Or we would fall back to Halo, and like Halo 2 was our game for sure. So yeah, as I said, core memory, Halo was everything to me. Me and some friends are playing through it right now. Actually, we finished Halo Reach, and we're going back to do 2-man campaigns of 1 and 2, and then we're coming back together for ODST 3 and 4. And I'm really excited to go through the stories because Reach like restarted a love for me because the Reach storyline is way better than I thought. I never played it, so I'm really excited.
Halo Reach so much.
Yeah, I'm really excited because I don't remember a whole bunch about 4. I remember 3 pretty well. I don't remember a lot about 4, and I don't remember anything about ODST. I don't even know if I played ODST, if we're being honest. But
I never played ODST for a fact.
I was so hardcore into 2 and 3 that I don't know. I can't promise that I played any other ones. I know I started 4 at the very least. Pretty sure I finished it because I'm pretty sure I know how it ends. Yeah. I think it was 5 that I picked up and started to play and then said nah. So
fair.
I think so. Mirror's Edge, do you know what this game is?
No.
So Mirror's Edge is a storyline that I can't quite remember, but the gameplay is you are playing as this woman on screen, whose name I also can't remember, and you are parkouring around this like futuristic, like super clean off-white city, and it's some sort of action like game plot line that I don't remember super well.
You just remember the parkour?
Yeah, and so I don't want to give what I think the plot line is because I know I'll be wrong. But I remember so clearly parkouring around, and there's a song at the end called Still Alive that I will also play for you after this podcast. And it has the most special place in my heart. This was the first game I ever beat by myself.
That's so sick.
So I played through the Uncharted games. I played through the Tomb Raider games. I played through like Halo with my brother and stuff. But all of that stuff, I either handed the controller to my brother when I couldn't beat something, or we played it like as a co-op campaign. So I didn't really have any like, this is a game that I beat myself until Mirror's Edge. So this holds a very, very, very special place in my heart for that matter, because the feeling that I had when I beat the game was like, oh, I have to do that again. And so like I love this game. I want to play through it again. It's like on the top of my list to try to play again. I don't know, I'll have to look it up, but I think that they have it ported to PC. I'm not sure if it runs well. But if it does, that might be a stream thing that I do soon.
Hell yeah.
I think it would
just
be so
looking
fun.
at this though, it's making me remember of a Wii game I forgot to put on the list. But do you remember Code Lyoko?
I loved Code Lyoko.
So I absolutely adored it as well. They made a Wii game for it. And I used to play the fuck out of that
I remember
game.
that.
It was so much fun.
I remember the
game.
game.
You used to be able to switch out through all the characters too.
Dude, damn. I will never forget that show.
This scene right here just makes me think about it, because they used to like fall off and shift at the like when they're falling. So this just made me picture it.
Going through the little cyber stream.
Bangers.
Code Lyoko.
Can't.
Portal is a classic. Me and my brother loved this. We both went through the gameplay, but then we also did the co-op together. At this point I was beating video games, so this one doesn't hold a special place for that reason. However, it does hold a special place in my heart because this was the first time that I think I realized that with a video game, like, it can be purely like ridiculous humor. Yeah. And I wouldn't say that I understood a lot of what they were saying in Portal, or like the premise of what's happening in the world, or like the, I guess, like the status of society in the world in Portal. Like when I was a kid, there was no way that I was like, oh my god, humans are experiments for robots because we lost everything. Like, I wouldn't say I knew that, but like I did know that there was like some weird thing where like it was very much humans were meant to be like test subjects and stuff. Yeah. And so I thought that was cool. And then I just, GLaDOS killed me, and then like in the second game, is his name Wheatley? I think it's Wheatley. Also killed me. I like, their one-liners were amazing, and like I don't think I laughed as hard at a video game until the Stanley Parable came out and I played through it. But I loved Portal. I thought it was so funny. The music was bomb. It was a pretty game. Like, the concept. I remember the
music in Portal being bomb. Like, they did such a great job.
And then the concept of like having to solve puzzles with like going in and out of these two different colors is like, it's super, super good.
I love puzzle games so much. Yeah. I really do.
Oh, damn. Also, we have the plot to Mirror's Edge. In Mirror's Edge, you work in an underground crew of parkour couriers called Runners. The main protag, Faith, that is her name, tries to get her sister Kate to flee with her because the Pope was killed and her sister was framed for it. I don't remember that at all, so I need to go through the game again. That's what I'm hearing. I do not remember that being the plot. Just run it back on the parkour. Literally, it's just one. It's such good parkour. Like, it's such a good mechanic. SmackDown versus Raw. I
fucking love this game. I love WWE.
This was, I put this in here because this was one of the games that, even though by this time I was mostly playing PC games, I came back to console just to play SmackDown versus Raw 2007. This has the most WWE. Oh my god, the most banger soundtrack of any game I played as a kid. So fucking banger. Bullet with a Name by Nonpoint? Absolutely not. This is an incredible soundtrack. It's what I remember most. The other thing is, I remember that, I don't think it's this one, but it could be, there was a mode where you were the general manager of one of the shows, and you could choose like who's fighting, what's the main event, like how much money are we bringing in, like all of this different, and it was so fun to be in that like manager seat and like put the show. Me and my brother loved that.
WWE.
I loved this
Holy
game.
shit.
Me and my brother were obsessed with this. We were obsessed with WWE. I think this was the same year that we did our first WrestleMania. No, our first WrestleMania was 22, so that was 2005. So this was towards the end of us being like, I think, super into WWE. But there's another fun fact. I'm pretty sure DSBIV, one of my buddies who's in chat, this is how we met. Was I think like years later on Twitter, I was like talking about this game, and he's also into WWE, and this is how we met in 2009.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so sometimes I think about that, like video games from back here. Like I have friends from playing these that I met online or met like because of similar interest in the game or something, or similar interest in like a topic that I still have today. Because like thinking back on it, 2009 is like 13, 14, 15 years ago. 15, oh fuck me, 15 years ago, and that's nuts to me. So it's just, I don't know. This holds a special place in my heart just because of the soundtrack, honestly, but also because it was so fun. And like 2007 is the one that I remember the most, but I'm pretty sure I played 2007 to 2011. I think I played all of those.
I think I did 2007 to 2009. Those three, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I played a lot of them later on. Like I think I got them, played through it a little bit with my brother, and then kind of like gave up. But 2007 was like peak WWE for us. It was so good.
The early 2000s of WWE will go down in history as one of my all-time favorite eras ever. Literally. Me and my brother used to find all their music like for their openers, and we would sit there and quiz each other on like just the initial 10 seconds of the song. We did that shit all the time. If I heard, well, it's the big show.
Or like,
oh my god, my all-time favorite Triple H's when he would come out, drink a little from his water, and flick his hair back and spray it.
Dude, but you gotta admit, it was always great when you would hear silence, and then you would hear D-Generation X, and they would both fucking walk out.
Or you just heard the church bell go
off.
Yeah,
for the Undertaker. Holy shit. Everything turned blue, and it would just be so fucking cool.
And he would stand up with his head down, and he would turn up with his hat, bro.
And him and Kane having the back and forth with May 19th and the whole like family feud thing. Oh my god, it was just, the storytelling was great. We loved Edge. Good. Metalingus is a perfect song. I don't give a shit. Everything was, and then you had John Cena.
I want to rewatch this now. I fucking love Cena. Or Rey Mysterio when he came out too.
Oh my god, 619. So fun fact, my AOL instant messenger ID was Boyaka and then my area code, because I was like
really?
I put my area code instead of 619 after Boyaka, and that was my AIM name because I was like obsessed with Rey Mysterio. He was my favorite.
He was so fucking
That's
cool.
my Pueblo.
Oh my god, I can't.
Yeah. So strictly because of all of the memory that I have with WWE and the friends that I made getting into it, and like the memories with my brother and my uncle who has since unfortunately passed, like he was huge into WWE too, so he got me and my brother like custom made WrestleMania 22 jerseys that have our last name on the back. And like, so that it's just so much sentimentality to me, which is where a lot of my like games that shaped me come from, is like a thing of sentimentality. But yeah, this game is just, man,
I have never been to a pay-per-view, Raw, WrestleMania, or nothing.
Dude, I would love to go. I would love to.
I don't care for these people now. I don't
yeah,
like the
that's the thing, is I don't know.
like the divas. I would have to go for the old school.
I would love to go to like a reunion match between like John Cena and Randy Orton or something.
Oh, if I could see Randy Orton live,
bro, if I could see an RKO
for Roman Reigns.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
I can't.
Dude, you know who I used to fucking love? Mick Foley with his fucking Socko sock puppet. Wow, I went to meet him. I have his Hardcore Diaries autographed by him. I was
Really?
obsessed with it. Yes, I was
Oh my
obsessed
God.
with him. I thought he was so crazy and
He's
fucking
fucking so sick.
awesome. And then we met Maria, one of the divas,
Mm-hmm.
and Ric Flair at a mall.
Woo!
Yeah, Birdman.
I
Woo!
think the last good era that I can say that like I 100% watched up to was Shield, when Shield was a thing with Seth Rollins,
Oh
Roman Reigns, and
yeah.
Dean Ambrose.
I
But
I
like I watched a little bit after the Shield broke,
yeah.
but I can say that's about the last time I watched.
I stopped watching seriously before that, but I remember it a little bit. I
I thought that was
stopped
such a great
watching
event.
around the time that Chris Benoit died.
Mm.
That's around the time that I stopped watching because the whole thing was me and my brother were like obsessed with this like storyline that was going on, because the storyline that was supposed to happen was Vince McMahon was supposed to die and Stephanie McMahon was going to take over Monday Night
Yeah.
Raw.
Yeah.
And then he came out that night and he was like, you know, usually we do these fun storylines and, you know, it was supposed to be the death of my character tonight, but we suffered a loss. And me and my brother were like, damn, all immersion is gone. Like we just could not stick with it after that, because it was like this tragic thing happened and then it broke the storyline and then they didn't quite recover well. And so we were always Monday Night Raw people, even though we did watch SmackDown. So having it happen, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a little rough. But I will never let go of my memories of WWE and the time that I was like obsessed with it, because it was just such a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. It was just so
10
fun
out of
to
10.
watch. Yeah, so fun.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on. PC gaming.
Going to the PCs.
So this is, I feel like it's very obvious where this is going to start, but my dad introduced me to PC gaming through the Diablo series.
Diablo. Mm-hmm.
So I think, God, I can't even remember when the second Diablo came out, but I know I played through the first one with my dad, my brother, and my mom. He got all of us computers, set all of them up so we could run together. We did the first Diablo multiple times. Mm-hmm. Second Diablo came out. We ran through that shit nonstop. I mean, over and every weekend we were, can we play Diablo? And he said, yeah, of course we can. And we would all get on there and we would absolutely like just like wail away. I think I had to have been in, I don't know, first grade playing every single weekend with my dad. I remember
when Diablo 3 came out. That shit was fucking
fire.
fire.
So then Diablo 3 came out and we played through it. We played through the whole game in 2 weekends.
Oh my gosh.
And then the season started happening. I think we played through maybe 1 or 2 seasons when they started up. And then I didn't touch the game for like a good 2 years. And then I got re-addicted and I ran through like 13 seasons in a row.
My gosh.
This game I have sold my soul to Diablo, actually.
Gotcha.
I will die on the hill that Diablo 3 is one of the best games ever made. Yeah, they're perfect. And it was very much like, I had Diablo 3 on console, and that is the majority of the time where I played it later on. Mm-hmm. But this was like my PC gaming. It was this, and I'm gonna show you a couple other games, but it was mainly this.
Yeah.
And yeah, Diablo. I mean, like 4 came out. I've been playing it. It is a little like I don't have a lot of motivation to get through the story because it just feels like it's not going to be as good. But I'm kind of holding out because I'm loyal to the title, and I can do it. I know I could do it. But Diablo 3 is always gonna have my heart. That Diablo 2 I think is still the best one, but Diablo 3 has my heart because that's like that shit was my game. You know, like that was when people like nerd out and they know like everything about how to play a game. That was me with Diablo 3.
I absolutely adore people like that. I love seeing them light up about video games and like how they just get to explode all about it and nerd the fuck out. I'm like, yeah, give me that shit. Let me hear all about it. I don't even know this game.
There's a great story of I tried to get Lexi into Diablo and she was not a fan. because when you
Aw.
play on console, the screen has both of you on it, and so you can click in one of the joysticks to show where you're at if you get lost, but
Yeah.
it's not like the normal games where it's centered around just your character, so you can, like, you're not perfectly centered on the screen. And she was not a huge fan of that, so she kept getting lost. And so she would just watch us play, and it would be like we'd be sitting there like, okay, I'm really quick, I'm just gonna go to the jeweler because I've got a couple of these shards, and then I have to go to Kunai's cube because I need to rip out the aspect of this legendary item to put it onto this. And she was like, I don't understand a single word that you guys are saying.
Yeah.
And she's like, I feel like I am high. And I was like, it's fine. Yeah,
I feel like y'all are speaking a different language.
Yeah, because then we'd be like, all right, and then we can go ahead and do tier 4 bounties or something, like, oh, screw it, let's go kill Diablo, we'll kill the butcher, and we'll get the Skeleton King, and then we'll go and we'll find the cube, and then we'll do a couple Nephilim rifts so we can get Paragon early. And she was like,
Yeah.
I don't.
I
But
I
it was like,
don't.
it just became so second nature. Like, you go through enough of these seasons, and it's like, you just start turning brain off and just knowing what to do.
Yeah.
And so by the end of it, you're on Diablo 3 you could go from normal all the way up to, it was like normal, hard, expert, torment. And then it was like torment 1 through 13. Torment 13 was easy by the time I was done with Diablo 3.
Oh, fuck.
Like, it was so easy. It's like, you reach end game, it's very grindy if you don't go seasonal. Like, if you keep, because you got to keep your, after you reach the max level, you got to keep these like spare levels called paragons. And anything that you did with a seasonal character, that paragon went back to your main character. So eventually you're like level 2000 on your main character when the max level's like 90 or 70. It's 70. So you're like, you're 2000 levels over what you should be. And so like running easy is like stepping on an ant.
Yeah.
And so, but man, I loved that game so much. I need to go back and play Diablo 3.
Hell yeah, you do.
The other one is Myst, which was a game. It's just a puzzle game, honestly. At its core, it was like almost like a big escape room-esque game. And there are like 7 of them, I think. Or at least
7 mists?
Yeah, 7 mists. And so my dad introduced me to this. We were young. He would try to let us solve the puzzles, and then when we inevitably didn't know what we were doing because we were children, he would show us how to solve them. So this is actually how I got into puzzle games. So like, the reason that I love puzzles so much is because these early games, like learning how to solve them and learning how like to use the logic or like critical thinking to like kind of get myself out of these areas in the Myst games, like it was just so fun to me that like by the time that we were doing puzzles for things like Resident Evil or Tomb Raider or Uncharted or whatever, easy peasy, no problem whatsoever.
Oh god,
The Sims. But like The Sims. Like,
I was never a Sims girly. I've never touched a single one of these games.
Oh, bitch, dude.
Never once.
Me and my old best friend, her name was Patricia, we played this shit nonstop. She would come over to spend the night. She would be on Sims on one computer. I would be on Sims on the other computer, and we would just be giggling about like the characters we made and like how it was like, oh, my 2 characters are woohooing because we were like children. Yeah. And it was just, I mean, classic. It's a classic game. There's
it really is
not much to say about it. I have played every single Sims. I miss The Sims 2. Yeah, it was great. I remember having a really big obsession with this around the same time that I had an obsession with Neopets.
Fair.
So it would be like while our Sims were doing something, me and Patricia would be sitting there like checking on and drawing Neopet stuff, and yeah, it was a strange time. We'd also be listening to music videos from like The Fray, and
bangers.
Who does a song on Faithful? Rihanna?
I'm not sure.
Or
I'm
I
not
don't
really
want to
good with
do this
pairing the name
anymore.
with the artist
That's all I
name.
remember. Yeah, I think it's Rihanna, but we would be listening to like a lot of music like while we were down there because my dad would he would be like, all right, what do you guys want to listen to? And like so from his computer with the speakers he would be like DJing for us and we would be like on
Hell
the
yeah,
Sims and
DJ Dad.
yeah. Yeah,
That's
it was a
fucking
fun
amazing.
time. But we spent a lot of time on the Sims. It was very, very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Minecraft.
The good old craft. I
Yeah,
can't believe I didn't actually put that on mine. That's fucked up of me.
yeah. I don't think there's much to say about this one.
There's not. You used to grind the fuck out of Minecraft,
Yeah.
and then now it's become a thing where you play every once in a while.
Yeah, I played this shit nonstop for eons, I swear.
Eons.
And
The original JayWow, bro.
yeah, and then yeah, now I can't play without mods and
I can't either. I can only play
Yep.
Technic Launcher and that's it.
Yep. R.I.P. Vanilla
OG
Minecraft.
vanilla.
Yeah. You will be missed. Anyways, diversifying. So
No way.
from middle school to college, I did continue to game pretty regularly. I became a PlayStation gamer around the time that I hit like 13, 14 years old. My brother went Xbox, I went PlayStation.
I respect that, honestly.
Yes. And that was probably true. I was probably 13 all the way to 19 or 20. I was like PlayStation specific, except to play Halo with my brother. But I kind of like used my time on PlayStation and like I mean if a game came out that was on like Xbox exclusive or like if it was a PC game that my dad picked up or something, like I would absolutely use other gaming mediums, but it was mostly PlayStation for me. I started to get into horror games. So like those years of me being a PlayStation gamer really kind of like nailed in what kind of games I'm into. So one of the big ones for me was Fallout New Vegas.
Of course.
Veluxi's
actually doing run through of that right now.
Oh really? I fucking love this game. Yeah, New Vegas was I played Fallout 4 as well. I don't think I
hit the same.
No. I don't think I played anything before those two though. I think it was just those two. I loved New Vegas with a dying passion. I watched a lot of gameplay of everything else, but New Vegas was the one that like I played. And I loved this game. It was just oh god, it was buggy and it was dumb and the map didn't render half the time, but god, it was a great fucking game. It was so good. And like I just have vivid memories of like pretending that I was in the world of Fallout or whatever. I got like Fallout got me like really into like 50s fashion. Like there was a short time there where I was hella obsessed with dressing like I was from the 50s. So yeah, very influential game on my style. And then yeah, I know Fallout also just has a special place in my heart. Like I bonded with a lot of people. Like Bebo and I bonded over Fallout so much so that when he moved down to Arizona, he left me his Fallout hoodie, and so I have it. Yeah, I have it, and it's like hanging in my closet, and like every once in a while I'll just go wear it. Chill around the house
so
in it.
Cute.
Yeah. But yeah, I love this game. I love the franchise a lot. I played a lot of Fallout Shelter when it was a thing. But New Vegas was really the only like Fallout title that I thoroughly enjoyed. Like 4 didn't hit the same because I played it after I played New Vegas, and I think I was just so attached, and like the soundtrack was so good, and
you just can't go back.
Yeah, just can't recreate that initial feeling of playing it for the first time. BioShock, similarly. I loved just BioShock. Again, the music was incredible. The kind of like old-timey style. BioShock 2 was my shit. I loved the first one, but the second one is absolutely my favorite. BioShock Infinite is a little questionable, but as a whole franchise, pretty dang good. I was terrified of the big daddies. The little sisters were like a little scary, but the big daddies were terrifying. And yeah, there's just like me. This is actually again sentimentality. This is how me and Lexi bonded, because we, at the hookah lounge that we all used to hang out at, there was a card game that they played called Mao, and you got to, long story short, you have to make up rules at some point. And so my rule was "Would you kindly," which is a BioShock reference. And so anytime that your turn was over, you had to say "Would you kindly." And Lexi caught on to that, and she's like, "Oh, I see what you're doing." And from there, it was just a skyrocketing friendship from that point on, because it was very much like right in that period where, like, I think girls were more acceptable gamers in society, but not yet, like not fully, not yet.
It took forever for that to be kind of okay.
Yeah, like it's still not
fully
yeah,
okay, but
for it to be passable, yeah, for it to be passable, it took quite a while. So
I agree.
Yeah, we found each other, and like I think that was the point. We kind of noticed, because BioShock at that point was like, it was a popular-ish game, but like not one that you would typically like dive into or like get super into. But both of us were just like, we were so connected to it and we bonded over it, to the point where like there have been talks. We actually need to talk about it more, but there have been talks about us getting tattoos of like Adam and Eve injectors for matching best friend tattoos.
That'd be so fucking cute.
Just because it's like, yeah, because it's like the like foundational bonding topic of our friendship.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about that, and I like, anytime that I think of this game, I now think of her. Even though I played all three of these on my own, I think of her every time that I talk about BioShock. It's such a good
fucking
game.
Should. That's so cute.
Yeah.
I love best friend tattoos too.
Yeah,
I really do. I'm such a sucker for them.
But yeah, I really liked that kind of ambiance, like ambient horror, psychological horror. Like,
I'm such a sucker for psychological horror rather than natural horror. Like,
that's
the
why
standard one.
That's why I loved like all of the oh shit, no, I can't remember. Now I can't remember the names of them. There were a couple of games where it was very much ambient and like psychological horror, because like there were barely any jump scares, but you would go through like all of these hallways and these tunnels, and there would be like voices the whole time, and I don't remember the plot or anything, but I could have told you the title a week ago, and I can't tell you now.
Would it be Layers of Fear?
No, it's not. It's an old game. Like, it's like 2004, 5-ish maybe. Because I played it on the 360. Yeah, but I can't for the life of me remember what it is. Layers of Fear, though, is, I still need to play that. I need to play on that. But that is one of my favorite horror games. I think that the psychological horror in that game is just absolutely insane. And also very much matched what I was saying, like walking through long hallways with voices and whispers.
Yeah.
But yeah. Probably the game that defines me the most. The Metro.
Which is
series.
The Metro.
Metro 2033 to be exact. This is, okay, so backing it all the way up to when this game came out. Based off of a book by Dmitry something Slavic. And my brother played the game, and I watched about 15 minutes of him playing it before I learned that it was based off of a book. So then I said, I gotta go get the book now.
Before you play
Finding that book in an English translation was the roughest thing I have ever done. It was absolutely ridiculous, because we didn't have Amazon yet. So I couldn't just order an English version off Amazon. I had to go to bookstores, try to find an English version.
Fair.
Never happened. So it was the first time I ever pirated something offline.
Yes.
You could get books. Again, I can't remember anything from because it's so long ago, but I know that there was a website where you used to be able to like get books, and it was like really, it was like downloading a fucking Word document like
Yeah.
at that point. But
Yeah.
and it was like, I mean, it was bootleg, like it was somebody sitting there typing the fucking Word document out and then selling it to people online or something, you know. But yeah, that's how I read it, and I loved it, and then so I played the game, and it became one of my all-time favorite games. It is still one of my all-time favorite games. For anybody who doesn't know, you play as a young man named Artyom. The world is basically in a like post-apocalyptic state, and you are playing in from like Artyom lives in the subway tunnels in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a huge underlying plot of these things called anomalies, which are like these supernatural events that kind of happen. The surface is pretty uninhabitable, but if you have a gas mask, you can go up there. So you do these things. You use your bullets. There's bullets that use as currency. There's all of these different guns that are made out of like these makeshift things, like because they have to make do with what they have.
Yeah.
So you like go around, you have to like find bullets, find canisters to reload your gas mask so you don't run out of oxygen. And I'm actually currently working on playing through all 3 games on X Games mode, which is basically where like loot does not spawn for you.
Yeah.
Like very rarely does it spawn, and everything is way harder to kill. You can use your currency bullets as ammo, and it is basically a one shot. But it is, you really have to think about it, because if you can't reload any of your guns and you're going into a fight, it's gonna fucking suck.
Yeah.
This game, when I first played it, it was hard, it was scary, it was like completely entertaining. There was a lot of story, and I knew everything that was gonna happen because I read the book. However, they made 2 more, and they made 2 more books, and they made 2 more games. So I had to keep going. I never read the other books, so I played the second game, and I just remember like going through the second one, and because you learn more about the anomalies and like kind of the, without spoiling it too much, kind of like the nature of what lives on the surface.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking crazy. I think it gets a little strange. It gets a little like out into left field with the story sometime, but to me, knowing the full story, because I still haven't played the third one all the way because I'm awful, knowing the whole story all the way through, I think it's a phenomenal story, especially for an adaptation from a book. It does extremely well. The storytelling is incredible. The mechanics are great. You have stealth missions, you have subplots that are like crazy, because naturally if there's a whole bunch of people living down here, it's going to break into some sort of factions, and there's going to be conflict, and so it's like somewhat political, somewhat like, it's somewhat preachy at parts, but like not enough, like it makes sense where it becomes preachy, because it's very like, nature works out the way it does for a reason, and but I just think all of it is so incredible, and the end of the first game is still something that I absolutely like. It's ingrained in my brain as like, holy shit, what an end. Like it's just so good. I love this game so much. I will die on the hill that this is one of the best games ever created. So yeah, I would definitely say this is probably the game that I would consider like the start of me loving story games. Like any other game that had a story before this, I was like, oh, this is really cool. But this one, I was like, this is fucking incredible. I need to find more games that are like this, which then led me to Silent Hill. So
bangers.
Silent Hill is when I got the PlayStation 3. they had the remastered of Silent Hill 2 and 3 in like a collector pack or something. And I played through both of them. I was obsessed. My like high school crush gave me his copy to borrow. Yeah, it was
And you
really
kept it?
cute. I did. um because he like broke things off on Valentine's Day and it upset me, so I never gave him his game back.
True,
um
fuck him. That's your
but
game now.
yeah,
I'm
so
saying?
he let me borrow it and I played through them religiously, and this was another game that I bonded with like a bunch of my friends that I have now when we first met. Bonded over these games with them. Silent Hill was always crazy. I like loved the nurses. I thought that they were like so scary. The concept was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
When the movie came out, I was like so hyped, but
You know how that went.
you fell asleep during it. You know how it went.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's just like Silent Hill is one of those like psychological slash ambient horror games that just it made me fall so in love with like the idea of horror games. I just like
Mm-hmm.
I needed to have more. I needed to know more. So I'm really excited for everything that's coming out that's related to Silent Hill 2, because like this has been such like a locked away favorite of mine for so long that
Mm-hmm.
like the idea of having new Silent Hill content makes me really, really excited. A little nervous, but also very, very excited.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond Two Souls, have you ever heard of this?
No.
Okay.
Beyond Two Souls?
Beyond Two Souls. It's a
Mm-mm.
game about a girl who has like a spirit kind of attached to her named Aiden. And Aiden is kind of like, I don't want to give away too much, but what I'll say is Aiden is kind of like a possessive spirit because they learn to like kind of live in harmony, right? And you're
Yeah.
trying to uncover what exactly is going on here while also trying to like keep in check this spirit and like make sure that it doesn't get too over involved in your life as the
Yeah.
main character. It's super 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 good. It's one of those it's like Heavy Rain, like those interactive story games, so kind of like Until Dawn and like all of those games too,
Mm-hmm.
where because PlayStation was huge for those, and so it was one of these types of games. I don't remember. Okay, so I don't remember if this is the game that Ellen Page had a lawsuit about back when it came out, because I think there was like this whole thing between Ellen Page, because it was pre-transition,
Yeah.
and like the makers of the game, because they used the likeness. And I don't know if it was this one.
That's what I was thinking too. That's what I
I'm
was thinking when you said
pretty
this game.
I'm pretty sure, because I know that currently I have heard nothing about it, and
Mm-hmm.
everything that I looked up about it said Ellen Page. So I'm
Yeah, so it would have
assuming
been
it's
pre all
it's
that.
pre like self discovery.
Yeah.
So I think that was a thing that happened around this game. So I think it's a little controversial, but like at the time I was hooked on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just one that I remember. There's like a lot of really pretty scenes that I remember, and I'm pretty sure if I were to look back, like watch it back or anything, I'm sure I would think it looks like shit. but but at the time it was fucking gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Beyond Two Souls, great game at the time. Not sure if it stands up today, but it was fun back then.
Mm-hmm.
Same,
Banger.
yep, same deal. Interactive kind of movie game.
It's just so beautiful.
Until Dawn. Uh,
Did I tell you I never played this game before?
you haven't played it?
Nope.
Bro.
This is one of my all-time favorite story games that I've ever fucking seen, and I have not played a single second, millisecond, or minute on this game.
You have to play it.
I know, I'm waiting so patiently for the remake to come out.
Yeah.
But what pisses me off is I heard the storyline is going to be different, so I will
No
never fully
way.
enjoy it. Yes.
No, you can enjoy it. I have it on my PS4. Just borrow it. The whole thing. Go ahead.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Yeah, just go ahead.
So I heard that the story is changing, where the brother is not gonna be the wink wink.
Oh. Well, I mean there's okay.
I guess you could kind of go around that, but that's kind of the whole story.
Yeah, I mean,
so
to be fair, there's a chance that that's the whole story.
True.
But
there's still a chance.
To eliminate it altogether would be wild.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be crazy.
That's I feel like
this is one of those games that I have fallen in love with and will die for, but have never touched it.
Understandable. You want to hear a really fun fun fact about when I played this game?
What?
I played through it on my own, just in my basement in the dark, alone, the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Connor and his friends used to love watching me play scary games because they were too much of a pansy to play the scary games, but they wanted to see them. Yeah. So they would crowd around me. He had 6 or 7 of them over the time. They would crowd around me in the basement and I would be playing. And one day my mom came down and she said, "What are you guys screaming about down here?" And we were explaining it to her. And then we said, "Do you want to play with us?" And so we restarted and she sat down and she played the game and we all watched her play instead.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I love this game. It was unfathomably good for the concept. I also I was a huge fan of Hayden Panettiere because Heroes and all of that. So it was fun to see her in a game and see Mr. Robot and all of those.
I absolutely adore this game so much.
Yeah.
I've seen so many playthroughs that I just die for it.
Yeah. If they remake it and they change anything, if they add stuff, I'm chill. Mm-hmm. But if they change anything that's pivotal to the story, I will cry.
I mean, I thought changing the brother was enough, so I'm just patiently waiting to see what else they're going to say about it.
With my Chris and Ashley, I will fuck them up. Those are my bitches. I'm pretty sure that was their names, right? Sounds right.
Yeah.
The couple, whatever their names actually were.
Ashley, the little one with the little shorts and boots, and then Chris was
the tall nerdy one with glasses.
Guy?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure those were their names, and it was very important to me that they did not die.
I wanted Emily to die every single time.
One of the
last was fucking horrible.
Yeah, fair. One of the last games I ever played on my PS4.
Beautiful.
I don't think I need to introduce this one because you guys have probably at least watched the show, which is incredibly good.
Banger. Also Pedro Pascal.
Oh, banger.
So
bang
hot.
him actually.
Preach.
Yeah, heard. Yeah, Last of Us. This was probably one of the most iconic. It won Game of the Year. The year it came out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was just, dude. I laughed and I shitted and farted and cried and yeah, it was just. And it's funny because at the time I was really good friends with this guy, who we were best friends all through high school. And I left my PS4 at his apartment because I had been over there so much and we'd been playing. And I didn't see him for 2 weeks. And I left him Last of Us to play. And I came back 3 days later to pick up something from him. And he was like, "I finished The Last of Us. I'm obsessed with it." And I was like, in 3 days? And he goes, "Yeah, I finished all of it on my days off. I'm obsessed with it." And I was like, "Oh my god, I haven't even finished it yet." And he's like, "Oh, that's great. Sit down on the couch, finish it. I'll watch." And I was like, "Okay." So so I stayed over that night and we played through it again. I finished my save of it and played through it. And I was on the he was had his arm around me. He's like, "It's okay," because I was bawling my eyes out.
Yeah, because it gets sad.
Yeah. So yeah, I was obsessed with this game. I only played it once. That was all I needed to. And then the second one came out, and I was like, it's all right. But, like, I just think you can't beat the story of the first one. It's too good.
Yeah.
And then the show came out, and the show's a fucking banger. And
It's
everything
so
that they
beautiful.
added for depth is incredible. So, yeah, I'm just really happy with Last of Us as, like, an entire franchise. Dead Rising, which is an honorary mention, really, because I played this a lot later on, like, way after it came out. But Dead Rising is so fun. Me and my brother did the 72-hour mode. It was a really rough time. Do you know about Dead Rising?
No, I never.
So, you're locked in a mall with a bunch of zombies. That's basically it.
Is it like you fight to survive, or
Yeah.
is it like a story game?
I think there's story in it, maybe. But all I ever remember is fighting zombies, and I think that might just be because we did the 72-hour mode.
Yeah. No,
I gotta be honest with you, I don't know which one I played. I don't remember a single character's name. I don't remember any depth to the game at all. I just remember I was awake for 24 hours. My brother took the controller from me. I went to sleep. I woke up, and then I was awake for another 24 hours. Fell asleep.
God.
He woke me up and said, "We're about to beat it," and we did it. And then I think we never played again. So whichever one that was that had the 72-hour mode, that's the one we played. We did it over the course of, like, I don't know, like a Thursday to Saturday or something like that. And then I never played it again. So it's an honorary mention because that was a really fun time for me, but, like, I never actually got into the game.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. It was very, very fun. It was like it's kind of like Left 4 Dead, you know?
Yeah.
But
that's what I kind of thought, like, it kind of was, to be honest.
But like, you can memorize the layout of the mall, or all of this is specific to the 72-hour mode. I want to put that disclaimer in right now, because if there is a main game campaign, anything like that, I did not play it. But yeah, you can, like, go onto the roof of the mall. You can, like, go through the vent system, maybe, or maybe it's just back rooms that I'm thinking are vents. It's all a little foggy.
Yeah.
But yeah, very fun. I think eventually they had multiplayer, but I'm not sure, actually.
Huh.
Yeah, I think it would be fun if they did
that.
have multiplayer, just, like, survive in a mall with your friends and kill a bunch of shit. Yeah, very cool. I heard there's a longer version of, like, the challenge mode or whatever, which I would never be interested in, because, like, I put my time in, I served my time, like, I'm good.
I did that. That's it.
Yeah. But I would be interested to see if there's, like, an infinite mode, and how, like, who survived the longest. Like, what's the longest survival time? That would be kind of crazy. Resident Evil. This, just as a franchise, I played.
Oh, Daddy Leon.
Yes. Started with Resident Evil 2, like a lot of people, I think, actually. I learned that way later on, that a lot of people did not play the first one, but played the second one. I don't know why, but I guess that was popular. Yeah, started with the second one, did not play the third, played the fourth, did not play 5 or 6, played 7.
Interesting. You're jumping all around.
Yeah. Watched.
Yeah.
8. I just skipped a couple of. If I didn't play it, I watched it, like, played through. Yeah. But I loved Resident Evil as a story. Playing it, not so, like, it wasn't my thing most of the time. But I liked the storyline early on, and I liked 7 a lot, and 8 was okay. But yeah, I liked 2. I liked the story for 6. I liked 4.
I like the remake for 4.
Yeah, I like Leon Kennedy.
Fair, me too.
Leon the Sex Kennedy.
Any of the earlier ones, I kind of just watched a lot of Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yeah, I have seen some incredible fan art. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
I've sent you some incredible fan art.
You have. Incredible. So many talented artists out there.
Just
for real.
chef's kiss, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, before I stare at Leon too much, brings us up to current day. And I have the same sentiment as you did. Looking at this stuff, I'm like, fuck, none of this hits the way.
Ugly.
Yeah, none of this hits the way that those old games used to hit. So, like, going top down, like CSGO, yes, I currently play a lot of CSGO. Does that hold a candle to any of the shooter games I have played in the past at all? No.
No. Never, ever.
But I play it. Stardew Valley, is that anything like any of the comfy or cozy type games that I would have played younger without realizing that that's what they were? No. It's fun though. I love Stardew. I love Stardew so much. Dead by Daylight, trash game that I pick up here and there.
Yeah.
It's never good to me, but I keep coming back.
But you kind of got me stuck, honey. Damn.
Yeah. Warframe, which is just a baller ass game. I just in terms of games that I've been obsessed with in recent years, that has got to be top of the list. Phasmophobia, which I will admit is pretty fun, but like that shit don't scare me like how BioShock scared me the first time I played it, or Metro scared me. Same with Project Zomboid. Hella fun game. Love playing it. It is absolutely phenomenal. It does not scare me. There's no. The scariest game in this fucking list to me is Escape from Tarkov. That is the scariest game in here. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto. I played a shit ton of GTA Online, like a fuck ton. I like so much that I almost regret it, but I don't. GTA Online was very much a like pandemic hyperfixation for me. So I played GTA 5 like on console back in the day, but like not too much. Never stepped into online. I had a bunch of buddies who were online with it a lot, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you should join up, like you should get it and you should join and blah blah." So one of my buddies actually bought me the game because it was on sale. There was a special, so I got like free cash, like in-game cash. We ran shit for a long time. I sunk 300 hours into it within the first couple of weeks that I had it.
Yeah.
It is still my number one played game on Steam, which I'm sure will be replaced eventually. I'm kind of shocked it hasn't been because I haven't touched it in forever. Yeah, it's a big one. For sure. Escape from Tarkov, arguably my favorite game right now. Not even to play, just in general.
Yeah.
I think anybody who knows me knows my deep-rooted obsession with Tarkov, the lore from Tarkov, the game, the voice lines, the food, everything.
Being the gal in the chair.
Literally being the guy in the chair is like my favorite thing in the entire world when it comes to Tarkov. Being in the field, I wouldn't say is my favorite thing, but it's still fun considering who I play with. So it, I getting to play with like Bubberino and Shin and Tomo and anybody else who eventually decides that maybe they want to join us is very, very fun for me. I would never play this shit alone, ever.
Fair.
Ever.
Valid.
And yeah, I think Tarkov is a big one for me just because of the amount of knowledge that I soaked in without ever even touching the game. It just made playing it like a lot of fun because I loaded in and I had more knowledge than most people when they start playing. So it felt like I was cracked for no reason. Raft is just a really fun survival game to me. As far as survival games go, it's probably one of my favorites. It's like kind of cute. It's chill. It's it's a banger. Pretty soon, I think Sea of Thieves will be on this list because I've been dedicating a lot of time to it. But the instant classic that everyone and their mom knows about me is Final Fantasy XIV.
Of course.
That is my defining game, probably. It is my new Diablo, where I am a hyper nerd about it and I know way too much. But Yeah, it is. If anybody was gonna look at this list and go, I want to try one of these games, I would recommend 14. If you like shooters, I would say Tarkov, but it's hella expensive and also hella difficult. It's gross. People suck, and it is a game that wipes. So keep that in mind as well. If you are not a fan of like wipes, like Rust or Ark or any of those games, you will not like Tarkov.
Or Cycle. Cycle's another one too.
Yeah, those types of games are usually rough for me. With Tarkov, it's like, I don't know, it just feels different because I'm not building a base or anything. People aren't stealing my shit. It's just that like I get to me it seems more like a fresh start than like a losing everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't mind that. But yeah, that's it for me. Those are my games that I've been waiting to sneeze for like 20 minutes.
Bless you.
Thank you. Those are my games that I have been playing, that I've played in the past, that have made me who I am today as a gamer.
Beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely stunning.
Yeah. And I would say I kind of have the same sentiment that you do about, after doing this, I miss a lot of the games that I used to play, and I miss the feelings that they would give me, and I miss like the novelty of them.
Yeah.
But I would not trade the Lethal Companies and Content Warnings and Sea of Thieves and Tarkovs today for anything.
I wouldn't either.
Without the games I have now, I would be so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade it for meeting the people I know now.
Correct,
either.
Yeah. I would not trade the connectedness that I felt back then for the connectedness now. I appreciate both of them in different ways. I'm sure in 20 years when I connect with people in a different way, I will look back to today and say that I miss this too.
The exact same thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I guess we're done being sappy, guys.
Yeah, that was a long one, but
it was
so fun. Thank you all for sticking around to listen to us talk about the video games that shaped us. And just a reminder, because I would love to hear about the video games that shaped you guys, in our Discord we do have an on-topic channel, so if you guys want to have a discussion about the video games that you used to play, maybe try to unlock memories for each other, because I know Cap unlocked a lot of memories for me.
Or if you guys want to recommend us some video games too. I mean, we still would love to play them or hear more about them.
Games all day.
Hell yeah.
All day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've got a few on my list right now. But I go ahead and join us in there, because I think there's a few that I missed that I'll probably be posting about in there to just be like, shit, does anybody remember this game?
Remember that car game with the bomb defuse?
Yeah. Can someone, if anybody finds that game or knows that game, can you please post it in the Discord? Because God, I miss that game. I need to know the name.
But in any news, a little hint for next week. If you guys have been following along with the theme of everything of each month, our second week of every month is our astrology corner.
Yeah.
And it is Veda's month.
It's me, bitch!
So we are going to be talking about the good old ram sign. If you guys know what it is, I'll leave that up to you guys.
Let's go.
But at the end of it all, we have a good old signing off of... Remember, Coveys?
Keep it real,
but
keep it curious. Goodbye.